love working with me.
Hey there, good evening. It's Michelle Holang, the Chinese Jamaican Real Sparkle Diva, tonight here talking about how to make clarity stick. Last time we spoke about the aligned to adrenalize, meaning that are we working from being centered and grounded and our happy space, or in a state of fight and flight with adrenaline running because we're stressed and we're distraught and just running like crazy. So, what this episode is about is to really take a look at this thing we call clarity. Clarity is where, when you're going through your day, you just have this presence of just knowing that what it is you're about. There's just this sense of flow, and there's nothing really for you to do because you just know what you're going about doing. And so often we get into this space where we're no longer just doing things in the way we're supposed to be doing it. We're doing it in a frazzled, frantic state. And when we can get to this point of clarity where the heart is settled, where your state is calm, then flow, things move a lot more smoothly, things fall into place more easily. And tonight, what I thought I would do is share a few things, a few tools, a few processes that might help you to stay or get back into that state of calmness as you go through your day. And the first one is what I shared with you last time, which was using breathing as a tool. And that breathing pattern is a 3-6-9. And this 3-6-9 has significance in that these are power numbers that Tesla came up with, because the 3 is the state of creation where everything gets created from this space of 3. And if you notice, there's a lot of 3s out there in design, in landscaping, and just say even the Holy Trinity, there's that 3 number. Groups of 3 is somehow very balancing, very calming. So it's that point of tapping into creation. So the first point in this breath process to get yourself grounded and recentered, if you notice that you're getting frazzled or things are feeling out of control, is to just take 90 seconds to breathe, take in a deep breath from your diaphragm through your nose, and breathe in deeply for the count of 3. And then you hold it for a count of 6. And 6 is where we get into action. And it's where we allow things to happen. And so we hold that count for 6 and then hold the breath for 6. Then exhale through your mouth for a count of 9. That 9 is the completion. And you allow it to leave. And as you feel the breath leave, as you allow your whole body to let the oxygen out of your lungs, I want you to imagine, visualize everything that's not working for you, to just imagine it leaving your space. And then in that time also, I want you to feel, just allow your body to actually come down, to come into a restful state, to release the tension from the top of your head all the way down. Just feel your face relax. Allow your jaws to relax. Allow your neck to relax. If it's been a long day at work, just move a little in your seat right now to allow your body to release the tension in your neck, in your shoulders, in your back. And then allow it to, with that breath of 9, I know you're finished the breath already, but we're going to do it again. Allow that relaxation to go right through to your legs, to your feet, right down to wiggling your toes. And then shake it out before we start this practice to do this continuously with the 3 breath. Breathing in for 3. Hold for 6. Then breathe out through your mouth for the count of 9 as you feel the tension leaving your body, as you feel everything that's not serving you leaving. And then once you've got the breath out for 9, repeat it for another 3 or 4 times, and just feel that difference in your body. Breathing in for 3, holding for 6, breathing out through your mouth for 9, allowing everything to relax. Listening to the stillness around you, the quiet in your room around you, or the bells are going, just noticing but not really thinking, just allowing everything to leave. Breathing in for 3 through the nose, holding for 6, breathing out through your mouth for 9, allowing all the tension in your body to leave. And one more time. Breathing in for 3, holding for 6, breathing out for 9 through your mouth. And then what is that difference that you're feeling right now? Clarity is a muscle that we build. It's not something that it's just a given that we have clarity. It's something that when you have clarity, think of a time you had clarity, and did it last? And maybe it did, and then maybe life took over and situations happened and you found yourself frazzled again, because clarity, it takes practice to maintain a level of calmness so you can maintain this clarity around what you're doing in your day. And so there's another process I wanted to share with you, another method that I call the fade and fix method. And what this is that if you pick an action that you're doing and you think about doing it, feel that clarity around doing it, and then focus on that. And when your mind starts to drift off to do something else, then you pull it back and then focus on what it is that you have at your disposal to keep yourself in tune with what it is that you are doing. And so when your clarity starts to fade, then you bring it back with the thought of what it is that you were about to do or that you were doing. You hold that attention on it, and what you will find is that as you keep on doing this, you will have a greater ability to maintain that focused clarity on what it is that you are doing. You might think, well, how does this come into play? Many years ago, when I was working on getting ISO certified for a company, and I had so many things doing. I had children that I had to pick up from and take from home to their activities. I had so many things, and my head was really it was so full of stuff going on in there. And then at one point I realized what was happening, and then I started to breathe into that. And in that breathing into that, acknowledging all the things that were going in, I was able to make that space to focus, still allow what was going on to happen. I was able to bring that focus in to maintain the activity that I was working on and not be distracted by what was going on in my personal life. And that's what I call the fade and fix process, is to get that clarity muscle built up so that you can be more aware of when you're losing focus or when you're not feeling good. And this is another point too, which it's good to be clear, but it's also good to be aware of what is taking your focus away from things, your feel-good feeling. And you may think, well, feel good feeling, how does that come into play in my life? Because nobody feels good all the time. Life happens, things happen, and it will take us off, and we're entitled to feel that way. We're entitled to feel angry and feel sad and feel mad and feel upset and frustrated, and all those words that take us off our track because it disrupts our feel good state. And what I'd like to bring your attention to is that we have a choice. We have a choice of going down that I'm entitled to feel bad, to feel mad, to feel sad, to feel angry, or to say, I want to take control of me and I want to actually make clarity stick, make feel good stick, make me be in control of what's going on around me. And it's easier said than done, I realize that. And that's why in my signature 90-day program, this is where the focus is on how to actually get to be so self-aware. I call it being self-aware on steroids, that you are able to pinpoint and hold yourself accountable to yourself by observing, learning how to observe, learning how to take back control of your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, and then be able to then start to, from a feel-good space, magnetize what it is you want, your dreams, your hopes, all the things you want to achieve in your life, your relationships, and magnetize that into your life. And this is what the Be CEO of You program is about. And in that space, what comes into play is the frequency that I bring to the table. And I've only recently started to talk about that because we all, believe it or not, we all have our own frequencies that we transmit at, that we emanate, we emit, if you want to use that word. We transmit even when we are out and about in our world, being the person that we want to be or not want to be, because everything has energy. And so the goal of the Be CEO of You program is to have you get so clear on who you are that you bring back, you remember who you are at your very most beautiful core energy, so that you start to transmit at the frequency that is totally beautifully you, where you're in control, you are happy, you are feeling wonderful, bright, light, and elated. And so is it possible? And yes, with Sparkle frequency, it is possible because the container is the Zoom rooms that we meet in as we are here now gathered on this show. And we're going to have a chance to experience that Sparkle frequency very shortly in the Sparkle segment of the show. A cohort of the the BCEO of You program is Cameron. He came on. One of the things that, for example, in the founders, he was very reserved, very quiet, very much preoccupied because he had a very hectic job which involved troubleshooting computer system problems. And so he came to all the Zoom meetings for the classes, the Q&As, and the group sparkles. But aside from that time, he really didn't have a lot of time to spend doing assignments or the work. He just showed up. And what was beautiful to see is that by the 9th call, there was a transformation. And you can see it on videos in the Sparkle Vault on the Sparkle Experience show, by what we observed and the videos we have there for you to look at. He was transformed. His eyes were sparkling. He was cracking jokes. He was conversational, and he was just a different person. And that was a transformation of this field. And then there was um, DK, who he said he experienced a clarity that he hadn't experienced for over many years of trying to get there. And he said it was because of not just the class itself, the master classes, but just the shift and the change in being in this very safe and sacred space. I had said to people to bring on decisions. If you're trying to make a decision, indecision leads to that feeling of not being settled, of waffling, not really knowing where you're going, what you're doing. And there's a tool I wanted to share with you tonight as well. And there's a lot of people who use this tool. You may not have been exposed to it as yet. And what this tool is using your body as the indicator of your yes or your no, connecting to your highest knowing, your intuition, and your body knows best. Your body is a very intelligent knowing. And so when you tap into the body's knowing, you are able to get a very definitive yes and no. And you can actually test whether your yeses and nos are accurate just by playing with very simple things. And so how you do this, you use your body for the sway test, is you can do it seated in your chair by just move yourself as you see me moving back and forth in my chair, and I'm just gently sitting on the seat and allowing my body to be loose, but not, not droopy, just loose. And then you think about a question and think about something you really like eating and say, would I like to have some of that right now if I could? And I'm thinking cheesecake, and I went forward. Most people go forward when they have a yes to their question. Some people go backward. So for you, you stay straight in the balanced position, meaning you're not feeling that you're going to go forward or back. And then you ask your question, you pose it in your mind, and then you just relax in your body and allow your body to move back or forth. The other question you could ask is something that you definitely don't like. So for me, I don't like milk. So when I think of would I like a glass of milk, I'm definitely moving backwards. What is your question? And you can try it here right now with me. Ask yourself a question that of something you really like. Usually the things you eat is the one of the easiest, simplest things to play with. And or it could be what you want to wear today, or it could be simple questions that it's not a serious question. You start out with those questions, and when you get to a confidence level because you realize that you're getting the right answers for these simple questions, then you can, what I call, graduate to a more serious question, maybe something about buying a stereo system, and you can test and see whether or not that stereo system is good for you to buy. Is it going to be add joy to your life? Is it going to add pleasure? Is it going to be sufficient for your uses, your purposes for that stereo system? And then you can do your research and see if the research proves that your decision when you did the sway test was right or not. And then once you purchase it, you can see if it is the right decision, because you'll have the opportunity to test it out and see if it actually serves your use or not. So if we do it another way, some people find that the seated way is not as easy. So you will stand up, and then you'll do the same thing. You just balance yourself, stay straight. And if I go this way, and you stay straight, and then you ask your question. A quick note, these questions need to be binary, yes or no questions, black or white. So my question is, would it be beneficial for me to go to that event this week? And I got no. So then we can keep on asking other questions to be more specific if you want. You could say, will this going to this network event make me money? And so you can play again with your body or seated on your chair and get that feeling of whether or not your yeses are accurate and your no's. And then from there, it's a very powerful tool you can use to keep yourself feeling confident in the decisions that you're making in your day, whether it's something to buy or something not to buy, so that you're not buying on impulse, or a decision at work, or something that you want to check whether it's safe or not, or if you should go or not. Those are the three tools I wanted to share with you because, burnout doesn't happen all of a sudden. Burnout creeps up on us. We get going because we have so many things that we want to do for ourselves, for people, for our work, for deadlines, meeting deadlines at work. And then in that adrenaline rush, because adrenaline gets us going so much that sometimes we forget we even have a head on our body, and then we get going, and the adrenaline takes over and we don't realize how tired and worn out we are, and then we get sick. And so it's like a never ending cycle, or the tail wagging the dog, which one goes first. It's about getting aware of yourself so that you stop yourself before you get to burnout. You stop yourself before you get overwhelmed, or before you get so angry you explode, because you're able to ground yourself with the 3-6-9, or the fade and fix method, or the sway. Should I be allowing myself to get mad about this as much, or should I be trying to relax? And you can do that test as well. And your body, your body will likely, I'd be surprised if it doesn't, if you do the sway test and you're testing right, if your body doesn't go, yes, you should stop it, stop being angry, and get back to center and being grounded, and allow whatever that is to pass, because that is not serving you. It might serve you to be a heads up for the next time, but it doesn't really serve you in keeping yourself in your most productive state, which is the happy state, if you haven't figured that out by now. What I would like to do is a sparkle. Check in with yourself right now and notice how you're feeling. If you've had a busy day, a hectic day, notice where the tension is in your back, in your shoulders. If you've been at the keyboard on your computer all day, notice where that is, and just give it a scale. Rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is really tense, almost even hurting, and or maybe it is hurting, and 1 is where it's not really, it's there, but it really isn't, but it's there. So rate yourself there on your scale of 1 to 10 on whatever is coming to your attention, as you ask yourself, how am I feeling in my body right now, in my mind, in my thoughts? Is my mind clear? Are my thoughts going crazy because I'm worried about a deadline, or I'm worried about a reaction I expect from someone, or I'm worried about a health issue, or I'm actually having pain somewhere? Write where you rate those on, where the top number, make sure you know what the top number is, whether it's good for you or bad. So if it's clarity, it could be clarity is 10, and then 1 is really fogged up and you can't think. Write it down on a piece of paper right now. And just now, as we go into the sparkle segment, I'm just gonna change it to my sparkle segment here. And once you've done that, kind of move a little bit around in your chair, or you can actually lie down. If you're at home, you can lie down on your sofa or your bed and just get comfortable and take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in, just see a beautiful stream of light coming from the heavens. This beautiful golden, silvery, maybe even shimmering light coming in from the heavens and going everywhere it needs to go in your body, wherever it needs to go. And just feel that energy moving through your body. Just if you can imagine it, just allow it to move wherever it needs to go. Breathing out everything as you breathe out everything that doesn't serve you, through the window, through the door, And then through this cord at the bottom of your feet to your very own special crystal, where it gets cleansed and loaded with good Mother Earth healing energy, wisdom. And as it is cleansed and energized, allow that energy to move back up through the cord at the other foot, all the way up to your body, joining this cosmic energy from the heavens, moving everywhere, wherever it needs needed to bring sparkle, energy, love, light, healing, nutrients to your body, wherever it needs to go. Just feel that energy, allow it in. Breathe in all the goodness, breathe it in, and then breathe out. Close your eyes gently if you haven't already, and just feel that energy, and just allow. And you can allow the music to just be there as I sparkle you now. Just notice. Whatever it is you notice, it's fine. If you notice nothing, that's fine too. Just allow. That's all you need to do, is to allow. Continue to breathe, breathing in gently through your nose, breathing out through your mouth. Just feel this energy now. Just allow the energy to come to your core, your dantian, where it can power you up. Allow the energy to re-energize your core. Breathe in and breathe out gently through your mouth, and just allow. Okay, so slowly, whenever you're ready, you can start moving a little in your seat or on your sofa. Wiggle your toes, move your body. When you're feeling ready, you can gently open your eyes and see how you feel now. And this was what I like to call where sparkle frequency meets you in this container, this Zoom call. And sparkle goes across the others. It goes, well, I'm smiling because I'm thinking it goes the speed of light, probably, because it works instantaneously. I've seen that. Because the heart, the torsion field of the heart, is one of the most powerful fields. And when there is love, that energy, it can move through the others to someone you love across the other side of the world in an instant. And that's why people you love, when you think about them and they're far away, sometimes they'll phone you and say, hey, I just thought about you. And you said, well, I just thought about you too. And there you go. That's the power of the heart. And so when we connect in this field or in this space, beautiful things shift and beautiful experiences can be manifested. And all it requires is for you to be open to receive and to allow and to give thanks to God, I usually say, because it's just so amazing, some of these shifts. It's a beautiful thing. The more you give thanks to universe, spirit, God for blessings you have received, is the more you'll receive more of those. And the space is what we've created here for those things to come to you, because you're the one who is the one who manifests or who attracts or magnetizes those beautiful things coming to you. And it's that energy that once we are able to elevate that frequency that's within you, then that energy will bring to you beautiful things by yourself on your own. You know, you don't need a 3-day retreat. Sometimes it's just a matter of knowing how to tune in and have the tools at your disposal. And the Be CEO of You program is what I have put together. It's my life's work. And then there's a sparkle. And the sparkle accelerates the learning and the results and the experiences that my people leave with after this 90-day program. So if you'd like to learn more, please check the website bceofouyou.com. And if you are interested, you could also schedule a call with me. There's limited seats in this program. Starts on Monday, October 27th. On Zoom, there are recordings of the classes if you can't make it. The thing to remember here is that your clarity is your power. Your frequency, your energy, your ability to keep yourself centered, feeling good. It's something that everybody thinks they can do, but I learned that I was really not very good at it, although I thought I was good at it more than 2, 3 decades ago now. And I was unaware of how poorly I was at doing this, because until you start to explore in depth, we have no real a gauge. We don't have a measuring stick that is reliable for ourselves to figure this out. So, like with anything else, if you want to get somewhere fast in a subject or in an area, you can try and do it alone, or you can find someone who's done it themselves. And in doing that, you will accelerate your progress. Instead of taking years, decades even, you may be able to do it in record time and see the results much sooner than struggling for years to try and figure it out on your own. So, very few seats on my BCEO of You program. Please, if this is speaking to you, look at it very quickly. When Sparkle enters your field, alignment gets anchored. It's something that compounds. It's not something where you don't just tune up your car and then that's the only time you tune it up. That's the thing people don't understand, is Sparkle is not something you do once and then you're gonna have it forever. Life happens, situations happen, upsets, traumas, pain, accidents, all these things happen. And when that happens, it will affect your state, your frequency, and then the question is, how do you then manage it? How do you optimize it at all the times you need to have it optimized? It's that thing that we, as I said, we hope that we can teach ourselves how to do it, but it's a lot easier when you have someone who knows how to do that. And if you think that I'm just speaking about this trivially, I am not, because I'll tell you one story, and that is about a bicycle accident I had in Amsterdam. And with that accident, I ended up hitting out 5 teeth from the top of my mouth. 2 teeth got knocked up, and in that event, I actually was not at all traumatized. I did not have thoughts and feelings about how I was looking in public in a strange country. I was not worried about the fact that we had no travel insurance, that we didn't speak the language. I was not actually even in pain, come to think of it about it. And I was calm, I was collected. And how did I do that? I figured out after that, with all the work I've been doing over the years, that I had figured out how to actually take control of my thoughts, my emotions, and even to a degree my feelings, because I was actually, the restaurant owner said, Michelle, if you're a trooper, you're a real trooper, because if it were me, it was Amir, he said, if it were me, I would be over there where you are, bawling my eyes out, and you're over there smiling and cracking jokes. And he says, how are you doing that? And I said, I reached into my pocket, my back, actually my waist belt, and I said, grab my business card, because at that time I had just finished writing my book, Sparkle and Shine, Get Your Brilliance Out at Home and Work. And I handed him the business card, and as I handed it to him, I said, if you're wondering how I'm doing this, it's in my book. And at the time, it came out just like that, but I didn't actually realize that what I told him was absolutely the truth. It was a year later I realized that I needed to start teaching people how to cognitively, with their minds, get themselves working at managing their thoughts, feelings, and emotions, as well as using sparkle frequency, this gift I have, to accelerate that whole process of embracing, embodying this know-how, these processes that I teach, these steps I have in my book, that the frequency speeds up how the triggers, releasing the triggers and those energetic things that happen as we connect. And it also leaves you with the mental, the knowing, the mental cognitive steps, the processes as to what you can think of when you're not in this space, this container with me, that you can manage without me being there, and you can start developing your muscle for clarity, your muscle power for clarity, to keep yourself in this space of feel good, so that you will be able to harness the law of attraction that so many people speak about, but actually don't know how to bring this law into action for them. And with that, it's now 5 to 7 by my clock, and time to say good night. I hope that you got a few tools tonight that will serve you. Again, practice gives you the confidence in the tools that I shared with you. If you learn that when you do a certain process, like the sway test, that it is accurate for the small things, then you'll start to trust it and have more confidence in it working for you over the course of your working day on more serious issues. And wouldn't that be great to just be able to do something, check it quickly, and know with surety, with more confidence, that it was in fact the right decision. And so remember to keep in mind how you're showing up, what your energy level is, to think about whether you're creating from a sense or feeling of being grounded, centered, aligned, or from being frazzled with adrenaline rushing through your veins and keeping you pumped, and then ending up being drained at the end of the day, and maybe even catching colds and flus and so forth. So please join me again the next episode of the Sparkle Experience Show. And with that, it's good night and take care and be well. Bye for now.